cost you $50. We all have the same website, and every time there's new products, the company adds that product for us at no charge to us. Make sure your business cards have your website on it. That is a great way that people are making money today. So that's our 6th way that we make money. The 7th way that we can make money is on with the show. And on with the show, there's all kinds of parties. Last night, one of my consultants, Jennifer Stoneberger, told me that on Sunday she had a class. And I noticed that she had ordered more products this month than she ever has before. It was a lip class. That's all it was. She had 10 girlfriends come over, and they played with lip products. They did lip mask, lip balm, the age-fighting lip primer. They did lip pencil, lipstick, and lip gloss, and the class was over $500 on those products only. She made lipstick cookies, and that was the whole theme. Those girls had so much fun. They wanted to know what the next party would be. The next one will be all about the eyes. Another fun party that Elise Simon has shared with me is Get Ready for Bed party. They all come in their pajamas and their robe. Now personally, the cops would get me for sure if I were in my pajamas. That's just the way it would work for me. But it's strictly cleaning your face and getting ready for bed, so you can show them the eye cream. You can do satin lips. You can do satin hands. The only makeup you would test at all would be the foundation. Test it before you even do the skincare class, and then get them ready for bed. What a fun girls' night out, especially on a Friday night, or better yet, have a slumber party. If your situation is such, or a girl has a house that can be used for that, what a fun way for girls just to have fun, girlfriend time, and yet to make lots of money at the same time. Another one is a pampering party, where you soak your feet in aromatherapy, and while you're soaking your feet, you go ahead and do eye treatment, lip treatment, hand treatments. We just don't do any makeup, okay? No blush or no eyeshadow. And then, of course, advanced classes can be strictly color cosmetics, the glamour look with the advanced look, how to make our eyes look lifted, how to get rid of the fine lines around our face. All those specialized products that Mary Kay has in our line. It's huge. The amount of money that we can make with our clients when we employ all the avenues of income in the sales is phenomenal. And last but not least, preferred customer program. We pay the company to mail out for us a brochure called the Lookbook. Okay, the Lookbook, if I just buy this book, it's $3.50. If I want to mail it, it's 81 cents. So what is that? 35 plus 81 is, I think, $1.16. The company mails it for me for 65 cents. They pay, they have somebody label them for me. I put the names in the computer one time. You too can do that. And then every quarter, I just add new names to it. So 4 times a year, my customer's getting a brochure, most of the time with a sample. I'd have to pay extra for the sample too. So I can't imagine that a consultant would not use the preferred customer program. Make sure that you let the company do your job for you. Then you buy a gift with purchase. They're either $17.50 for 5 or $20 for 5. They must purchase $40 to get the gift. I personally don't give gifts at my skincare class because I'm already giving the hostess a gift. The preferred customer program is designed for reorders. So only the clients that are on your preferred customer program do you have to give the gift to, unless you choose to give it. But remember, you are double promoting. The lip glosses that were being used right now, you could pull out one and give everybody one and make it go much further. The same when they do eye products. You don't have to give. However, every single person that goes to your website and it says you give the gift with purchase, those people you must give some sort of purchase. Occasionally, you can go to Mary Kay's Pink Sale. Every time you order at least minimum 200 products, they have a Pink Sale where they do closeouts. You can get some great deals for gifts with purchase to give your clients. All those different ways, skincare classes, private facials, our reorders, are on the web, on the go, on paper. I forgot to even say that. Just leaving brochures in doctors' offices, having your customers take and leave them in the lunchroom, sliding them inside a magazine in the beauty shop or in the nail salon. All of those are ways that you can advertise your business, as well as leaving your business card everywhere that you go. Those are all sources to build. And then, of course, your Mary Kay pin. Wear your pin as many places as you can, or your Mary Kay badge. Sometimes people will actually ask you about the product because they're looking for someone, and a bumper sticker or a window sticker on your car can attract people to you also. The best way to win a free Mary Kay car and let it advertise for you. Remember a few minutes earlier I said no star, no car? Well, guess what? There's 2 ways that we build our business. I just shared with you all the avenues of income for selling the products. But now let's talk about part 2. I like to draw a line down a sheet of paper, and at the top write the word sales. On the left-hand side, I write product, and everything we talked about was just product, 50% profit. On the right-hand side, I want you to think about the opportunity that we get, number 1, for 1 to 4 recruits, a 4% recruiting commission. Let me give you an example. Let's say this month I had a new recruit who started with $3,600. So let's say total my recruits, I think right now they're at about 8,000 for the month, but let's just say that they did 4,000. That was it total. And I had 1 recruit. 4% of 4,000 is $160. Okay, let's say the next month goes by. I get 2 more team members. I have 3. I still only do 4,000 in production. I still get 4%. I get $160. But the minute I get number 2, the minute I get recruit number 4, I get a $50 cash bonus. Or you do. Directors don't. We get something different. Consultants get a $50 cash bonus for sharing with a new person after recruit number 4 for every recruit they sponsor that orders a minimum of $600 with their first order in the month they come in or the following month. So let's say you got 2 new recruits this month. You still only have 4 recruits. You did 4,000. Your 4% is $160. But because you sponsored 2 new people, you got another $100. So your check would be $260. You're still making 50% on your sales, but you're getting your 4% recruiting here. Number 3, you now have 5 or more recruits. You get a 9% check. Let's say those 5 recruits, some of them ordered last month and some ordered this month, but it was still 4,000. Notice I'm using the same figure because it's easier to multiply. It's got to have zeros in there for me. 9% of 4,000 is $360. You have more than doubled what your check would have been. Let's keep it the same scenario. You had 2 new recruits that ordered $100 over $600 each, and you got a $100 bonus. So your check this month is $460. What could you do with an extra $460 for sharing the opportunity? More importantly, you will be paid that commission forever as long as they're active with the company and you are. I have consultants that have been with me over 27 years. And through the years, I've earned a phenomenal amount of money because of those consistent consultants. I think my longest is Edie Evans, one of my directors. Okay, the next level that we can go to, number 4, is when you have 5 or more recruits who order in the same month. There's 2 categories for this. They all order in the same month, 5 people, and you personally order $600, you get a 13% check. We only did 4,000 in production, boo-hoo, but 13% of 4,000 is $520. Same scenario, we got 2 new recruits this month that ordered over 600, or maybe 1 came in last month, 1 this month, but they did their 600, so we get a $100 bonus. So 520 plus 100 is how much? 620, all right? So what could you do with $620 this month? Now, if you've got kids that need to go to college, put it into a college fund. If you're wanting to build a swimming pool or buy a house, put it into a savings account. Maybe you want it for your retirement. Put it into an IRA and don't pay taxes on it. All those things are building for your future, and that's why I choose to think of sales as cash in hand and part 2, building for the future. Every consultant's goal should be to share this opportunity. When you're excited about it and you believe, I know without a shadow of a doubt, 50% is the highest paid commission that anybody can receive from any company. Would you agree with that? Mm-hmm. And once in a while they give us bonuses, free products where we get even more than 50%. And then they turn around and give us 4, 9, or 13% in commissions for recruiting. That does not come out of the new recruit's pocket. It comes out of Mary Kay's pocket. So a brand new consultant who starts today versus me for 34 years, or Terry for 16 years, we all get the exact same commission. Doesn't it make sense to make yourself grow through sharing the opportunity? Because you will never be able to put in as many hours as you'd like to if you have a life. Am I right? So do both. Share the product, share the opportunity. That takes us to another higher level of success in Mary Kay called the team leader status. And I need to back up. 1 to 2 recruits makes you a senior consultant. And if you'll look at Sandy, Sandy is in her black skirt, her white blouse, and her black jacket. That's what we suggest that you wear as a consultant and a senior consultant. The minute you have 3 or more recruits, you can look at Sharon and Terry and you'll see them in their red jacket. That red jacket sets you apart. It says you are on the path to stepping up the ladder to bigger, greater, better things. into a pre-management program if you so choose. And it's still 4%, but when you walk in at the meeting, people know that you cared enough to share the very best. Then when you have 5, you're now a team leader. You now can have that 9 to 13% because all 5 recruits must be active. But remember, to get the 13%, they almost order in the same month. So not everybody's going to order every single time, every single month. So the goal is to keep adding to your team. And remember, Mary Kay's putting that $50 cash bonus as your extra goodie for continuing to share. But you see, the minute you have 5 recruits on your team that are active, and you are doing 4,000 in volume, in production with you and your team, you go on target for a free red Vibe. Who could get excited about a free car? Now, I'm here to tell you that as I climb up the ladder, I want to tell you there were no red cars when I started with Mary Kay. When they came out with Cadillacs, I couldn't see myself there. My self-esteem and self-confidence level just wasn't there. But when they came out with a Grand Prix, or in those days it was a Buick Regal, it's equivalent to the Grand Prix today, I could see that. And that's when 6 months later I won my first car from this company. It made a huge difference in the belief barrier. And then I stepped up to the Cadillac. So this company is so smart, they allow you, as a brand new consultant, you could recruit 5 people in your very first month in Mary Kay, do 4,000 in volume, and you go on target to win a free car. Now, what do you have to do to complete the car? You need a minimum of 12 personal qualified recruits. That means they must have ordered. In reality, you might need 15 people to have 12 active qualified. You and your team must do a total of 18,000 in production. That can be done in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, or up to 4 months. We encourage you to do it in 2 to 3 months to get your total $18,000 volume. Okay, once you've won the car and you've qualified for it, by the way, you cannot do less than 4,000 a month in production. It averages out to 4,500, but no less than 4,000. Once you've won your car, or you're in the process of winning your car, there's another level of success that's extremely important. And if you joined Mary Kay to make money, now some people tell me they didn't. They joined for the fun, the girlfriend time, the self-confidence, the personal growth, the tax benefits, getting their products at cost, wearing a suit, dressing up, coming to positive, powerful meetings. They come up with all the other reasons. But when we get down to the real nitty-gritty, wouldn't most of us agree we could use some good, cold, hard cash? Am I right? Mm-hmm. Well, guess what? How would you like to make even more than that 50% for selling and the 13% for recruiting? Is anybody interested in a higher amount, more than 63 cents out of the dollar? When you have 8 personal recruits that are active and qualified, you may go into qualification. If they're strong enough and you feel good, you go into qualification and become a director. Once you and your team of 8 have grown to 30 people, their recruits begin to count once you're in qualification. And you've done no less than 4,000 a month. How hard is that? If you started with 5 and you were doing it, certainly when you're getting to 8 and 10 and 12, it should be very easy to do. Again, 18,000 in production so you can qualify for your car and become a director at the same time. You must have 30 people, 18,000 in production, take 1 to 4 months. I'd recommend you do it in 2 to 3 months. Here's the big question. How much extra money? Get ready, because it's huge. It's 9 to 13% of what your unit does. Wouldn't you agree with me that if you can do 4,000 with 5 people, you certainly could do 5,000 with 30 people? And that would be a very low figure. Would you think you might be able to do 10,000 in production if you had 30 people on your team? Let's take the figure 10,000 just for fun and see where it would take us. $10,000 times 13%, somebody write it down and track it for me, is $1,300. That would be your director's check. Now, because you did over 5,000, you get another 10% as a bonus. So 10% of 10,000 would be a $1,000 bonus. Now let's go back to just 4,000 of it being your personal team and 6,000 of it being your unit members, right? Mm-hmm. What did we say the production was on 4,000? $520? You still get your personal recruiting check. So write down 520 and add that. And because a director, they're really encouraging directors, they know that we're spending our time training you, interviewing for you, working with you. They encourage us to recruit, and they sweeten the pot just a little bit. They give us a $100 bonus. So for 2 new qualified recruits doing the same thing that you did, but now you're a director, you got a $200 bonus. And would it be unrealistic to say that you personally sold 3,000? Wouldn't you think by the time you're at a director level, you'd be selling 3,000 a month? Sharon, you did it as a brand new consultant your first month. Okay, Sheila did 7,000 in a month as a consultant before she went into DIQ. So I think 3,000 is very reasonable. So let's take that and say that at 40% profit of that 3,000, you have another 1,200 in cash. Would someone add that up for me just for fun to see how much money that going from the level of a consultant through senior consultant with 4% recruiting checks to team leader with 9 and 13% checks to DIQ, what did y'all come up with?
$4,220.
$4,220. Who could live substantially off of that a month? Who could change their financial picture with that kind of money? Okay, that's why it's important that you understand from day one the selling and the recruiting. Let's take away all the money. Because you know what? For the first couple years,